On July 27th, officers found the 10-year-old was not breathing, and they say they could see bruising, cuts, and that the little girl was malnourished.
She sustained subdural hematomas, bruising up and down her entire body, missing toenails.
Those injuries described by prosecutors this week as both Baptiste and Woods appeared in court, now charged with first-degree murder following Rebekah's death on July 30th.
This story involving a 10-year-old girl named Rebekah Baptiste will break your heart, and it will make you seething mad at the same time. We're talking about the torture of a beautiful little girl. Ashley Holden from Scripps News Group has the story.
Over a long period of time, this child was subjected to some horrendous conditions.
In court, Apache County prosecutors describing the injuries of 10-year-old Rebekah Baptiste.
I have marked, if for the court's consideration, exhibits 2, 3, and 4, which are excerpts from some of the hospital records regarding Rebekah, the victim who died, indicating both acute, so some very recent significant injuries that she sustained, subdural hematomas, bruising up and down her entire body, missing toenails, and then also long-term care issues.
While we still don't know her cause of death, a newly obtained police report says on July 27th it was Rebekah's dad, Richard Baptiste, and his girlfriend, Anicia Woods, who called 911, saying Rebekah was not breathing, telling police she had run away and had been found by a neighbor. But both Richard and Woods were arrested. The little girl was taken to Phoenix Children's, where she died 3 days later.
An actual medical diagnosis said that the above findings are highly concerning for child physical abuse, child sexual abuse, and torture.
Prosecutors allege 2 other children in the home also had injuries. A new complaint says Rebekah's dad and Woods are now charged with first-degree murder and child abuse.
Rebekah was an absolutely beautiful human. She was one of our best students.
The Empower College prep community left grieving. ABC 15 was told Rebekah and 2 of her siblings were students there until family says they recently moved out of the valley. Administrators say staff reported suspected abuse or neglect to the Arizona Department of Child Safety 12 times in the last year.
In terms of what you guys did see, what kind of prompted you to report?
On more than one occasion, and more than one of the Baptiste scholars shared that they felt unsafe or that they did not want to return home. They would make allegations and have markings on them that were evident that aligned with the allegations that they made.
Administrators say DCS told them the case had been assigned to an investigator at least 4 times, but now they want answers.
Do you feel like the state let these kids down?
Yeah, absolutely. We believe that the lack of, absolute follow-through or investigation to support these kids and keep them safe, both physically, psychologically, mentally, emotionally, was not done.
When a child doesn't have a parent to protect them, when a child is being abused by a parent, the last line of defense is the rest of us, the rest of society. And in this case, the school teachers and the administrators, they stepped up, they did what they were supposed to do. They reported it. Then the people whose sole job is to protect the child didn't protect the child. How does that happen? We know what's going to happen to dad and the girlfriend. I don't even need to talk about that. Let's talk about saving our children here. Think Tank back with us. Stephen Longo, Eklund Mercy, and Ellis Palavides. Eklund, I don't know, 12 times in a year they're called. Where there's smoke, there's fire. My goodness, how could you investigate and no toenails? What is going on here?
The issue is the Department of Child Safety. They're booked. They are busy. The case managers have they have files, case files like 100 kids or 100 families, and 100 families, not just minor issues. These are 100 families with severe issues. It makes sense for 4 case managers to try to get to that case. It's 4 case managers that probably were overwhelmed, that got fired, that quit, because it's that hard of a job. Being a case manager is traumatic. So one case like Rebekah's, but there's hundreds in your bag. Like, you have 100 files of Rebekah's, and at any given point, it can get to a fatal, but you don't have the funding, you don't have the people, and the case managers they're not taught to be able to seek out which ones are dire. You know what I'm saying? They're not trained sufficiently to be able to do their job to protect babies like Rebekah. So it's really sad, because the teachers did their
it's
job.
sad, it's tragic, but here's the thing, Ellis. I watch news. I hear all this talk about millions for this, millions for that, all this money that is wasted in our government, whether it's federal, local, state, doesn't matter. It is wasted left and right. How on earth can we as a society not have more money to plug into here? These are the most vulnerable. These are our children, like society's children. And when their parents are the ones who are inflicting the pain and the torture, this is when we need the resources to step in. No caseworker should be so overwhelmed, or a system so overwhelmed, that when 12 calls come in about a child being tortured, that nothing gets done. How on earth does our government and look us straight in the face and say, yeah, it's okay, with all the money they waste on everything else?
Well, I think that eventually a civil suit's going to happen, and I assure you that resources will be found to pay that judgment when that comes through, because at 12 calls, you have an issue. So sometimes maybe it'd be better if there was a more efficient allocation on the front end, because you're going to be paying for this on the back end.
It gets me so angry, Stephen, because we know we pay a lot of taxes. We know we do. Everybody does. Whether it's sales tax, property tax, state tax, local tax, city tax, whatever, death tax. You just get tax. The money's there. It's where it goes. And why this doesn't make its way to the top of the ladder. These are our children. This is our future. These are the people who these children can't protect themselves if it's their own parents who are inflicting the damage. How on earth do we let this happen? Collectively, all of us.
I think it's a complete failure within the Department of Child Safety's own procedures and policies. To Ellis's point, when the civil suit does come, and it will come, I think we'll get a good look at the failures of those policies and procedures. Regardless, we all know that government workers and caseworkers within this department are overworked. That's why we're supposed to have efficient policies and procedures to follow, so that the cases that are supposed to be prioritized to protect children get done first. The department's name is Child Safety. How can we not look at this as a complete and utter failure of one of our government institutions?
This is so, and by the way, 2 more children, thank goodness they got out, but it's really hard to accept, right? We know it happened. It won't be the last time this is going to happen, and it's certainly not the first. It's going to happen again and again and again. But like, if you're running a government and this is a department, like, how do you not say, okay, this is the one, this is our top priority. Let's start here and then take care of everything else. Because if the children aren't safe, what's the point? If we can't protect children. And it's not like, oh, we got a call and we went out there and they made it look pretty. You get 12 calls. 12 calls. And the teachers, so good. They're keeping their eyes and ears open. The kids were actually, it seems like they were actually speaking up themselves. And no one's listened. Well, the teachers were listening, but no one else was listening to protect them.